You're the one who brought it here.
7 down.
Time? Stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before the roll call, I'd like to make a motion that Trustee Hopkins can participate in the meeting and vote by conference call or telephone.
We have a motion, second, and a second. Any questions? Let's have roll call.
Trustee Cox?
Yes.
Trustee Collinsville?
Aye.
Trustee Royer? And Supervisor Allen?
Yes. Roll call, please.
Same thing, Trustee Cox?
Yes. Are here, I'm sorry.
Okay, Trustee Foley?
Here.
Trustee Hopkins? Royer? Trustee and Supervisor Allen?
Here. Can we get a motion on the minutes of the previous meeting? Mike, the second guy, second.
These minutes are a joke. And I wish we could do it like we did before, where I would tell you, and then we could fix it before the meeting. But just a few things here. First of all, in attendance, and I just kind of take this personally even, has some of my family, and then my grandmother, who definitely was not there, she left because she wasn't feeling well. Then it goes into it, and Supervisor Allen asked for any comments from the public. Don Cox said someone in the annual meeting had stated there had been lies spoken, and if so, he wants to know what they are. He was advised that we could not discuss the previous meeting without suspending Robert's Rule of Order. Is that the reason that we couldn't answer his questions?
That's not how I remember it.
That's right. And
Wrong, it was nothing personal.
no,
And the reason for the attendance, I had your grandma on there at one time, and somebody said they thought she didn't stay. We had sign-in sheets for the, annual meeting. We did not have sign-in
Right.
sheets for those who stayed here, and I didn't know all the people.
and so, and I know it's not a personal issue. What I'm saying is that, but then even moving forward, it skips the
Well,
whole
just tell me what
debate,
you
and then it
want,
says
Kathy.
Jim Stack. Well, Jim Stack's not even in attendance here, and so my point is there's a lot of problems with these minutes, and so I'm going to go.
I'm gonna make a point. Since he keeps bringing this stuff up about these minutes not being good, he's doing a good job in my opinion. We don't have to do it because the way the law changed a few years back of recording the meeting with tape recorder, I make a motion that we go back to that.
Is that how other townships do
what?
it? Just
Record
Because I'm
them?
fine with that because we had the videotape. And
Well, if I can record them, I can type them from the recorder.
Yeah.
That's-
no, I'm
What I-
definitely fine with that.
What I tend to refer to with this stuff is I tend to pay attention to how the county does it. And one of the things the county does, which I think is a good idea, is they actually put a recording of the meeting on their website.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have seen
Right.
I think that's helpful.
I'm for that as well. Because then you can go back, so.
Can we get a motion on it?
Are we making a motion on recording the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute,
Okay.
this was for your correction, right?
So, right now, there's, the motion is there, whether to approve the meeting.
The minutes.
Okay. That's the motion you guys have.
Motion on the minutes for previous minute.
So we still vote on that?
They have the first
Yeah.
and second.
Trustee Cox,
No.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins, trustee Royer,
Yes.
supervisor Allen.
Yes.
Motion
Do we need to get a digital recorder for future meetings?
If we do, we'll get one.
Well, we have a little one, but I mean, we should probably get something that's gonna be adequate, that you can actually download, MP3 file or what have you.
Yeah, they make some with a USB, and you can stick the USB into the computer, and
The one we have has a memory. Mr. Allison can talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Alexander has information on that.
Or Bill Thomas, either one.
We'll talk about that later then, maybe.
So we're, yeah, I mean, that's certain, it's a topic that you brought up, and I think if you want to progress in the ordinance, I do, well, I'm not you,
Yeah, hold on, guys.
Did you want to do it now or wait?
Well, so we can, in my opinion, the better way of doing this, you guys want to introduce, propose it, put it on the agenda item, so if you're going to do it and make an expenditure to buy equipment to do it, you can do it all in one cost.
Yeah.
You guys do what you want. That's how
I
would do it.
I agree with Tim, let's put it on the agenda.
Discussion of purchasing a recorder, or
I think that's the best way to
I
do
would,
it.
I would
Move
describe
on.
it as, I would describe it as a proposal, of purchasing and using new recording equipment.
On the next
So if you,
agenda.
so if you do vote on it, your agenda describes you might be voting on spending public money.
Well, Jack, I think there's actually money in the budget.
But you still gotta talk about it before you spend.
And we can't vote on it until it's on the agenda.
Really?
That's right, brother.
Here with that,
Any other input from the residents?
Yeah, you went there.
So we have a third,
Okay, I'm sorry, we're still a minute.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's been voted on, so you can go, is that?
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Input from the residents would be now.
That's what I said, yeah. Yeah, input from the residents.
Regarding,
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
well, I was just gonna mention that,
Go ahead.
tomorrow morning, we're gonna be up here to put the meeting on the website or online. So the meeting is already being recorded now, so you'll have it tomorrow morning.
And how is the sound of that?
I believe it's been pretty good. I don't think it's been.
Well, then that would,
I'm sorry, what is your name?
My name is Bill Thomas with Brewster Alexander.
Your organization is,
Brewster Alexander.
They have the,
I mean, what you do.
We do the camera systems,
Right.
the phone systems.
it's this paper.
But that'll be done tomorrow.
that'd be great. And, how hard is that, do you think, for the folks, and sorry if I'm asking questions here and stuff, but,
That's all right.
I'm just trying to get something solved, if that's cool. How hard is that for the folks in the office to be able to put online?
We're training it tomorrow.
Great.
No problem.
Speak real quick.
Yes, sir.
My name is Aaron Rice, resident of Township. The subject has already come up about sort of what I describe as an unnecessary procedural crisis at the previous Township meeting involving Robert's Rules of Order, some questions about the appropriateness of a trustee engaging with the public and what the rules do say. So, and I will admit at the outset that this may seem unnecessarily nitpicky from my point of view, but I believe that order is important in these meetings, and bad things can happen, especially with the public. It also can hurt the reputation of the board in the public side. So the crisis, I had remembered the whole thing incorrectly, as well as the clerk, and I reviewed the video to make sure I had it right. It seems that one of the trustees objected to the proceeding, that when one other particular trustee began to address the member of the public, and that's what sort of started the whole thing. So, if we do refer to the county bylaws, township, council, township bylaws and procedures, on the second page there's a section marked citizen participation, and I believe that the appropriate language here, or the pertinent part here, is no one other than the board and the person having the floor shall be permitted to enter into any discussion, either directly or through a member of the board, without the permission of the supervisor. It's clear enough to me that, such as the point I have the floor at the moment, I can engage in discussion with a member of the board or the supervisor, and nobody else in the room could engage without permission from the supervisor. Okay, so Then there was a reference made to Robert's Rules of Order, which is a sticky one, because it's like 700 some odd pages. So the trick there is to filter out the pertinent information. So Robert's Rules, newly revised 11th edition, which Amazon seems to believe is the current edition. On page 96, there is a section titled Public Session, and the relevant information from that page is some bodies, especially public ones, may invite non-members to express their views, but this is done under the control of the presiding officer, subject to any relevant rules adopted by the body, and subject to appeal by a member. Okay, so again, this may seem to be much ado about nothing. I do believe this is important. And one point that I want to make, and this is going to sound like I'm being disparaging to the attorney. I know that multiple appeals have been made to the attorney for points of references to what's in order, what's not in order. I believe as a member of the public, the attorney does not maintain order in this meeting. It is in fact the presiding officer, because the attorney is not elected by the public. The presiding officer is. So I would like to see that. I'd like you guys to be more familiar with your rules and more professional in that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to say that I think you're right, and I think I got it a little bit wrong last time. I just want to apologize directly to you in front of everyone. I'm sorry for that.
It's not necessary.
Okay, good.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
I guess I'm going to stand up. My name's Ron Jetta, and I'm here as a citizen, but also I happen to be the president of the Council Area Recreation Board. And I was just handed by Mr. Doherty before the meeting, if it's fair and right, a resolution I think you're considering concerning the park district, or existing park district. Basically, the one thing on here that I noticed is that you're talking about an endorsement to disconnect real estate from the jurisdiction of the Council Area Recreation District, but then the resolution goes on to talk about dissolution and dissolving of the park district. So if you're going to pass this resolution, it probably needs to be in the form of talking about that a resolution endorsing for the citizens of Collinsville Township to dissolve from the council, dissolve the Collinsville Area Recreation District and not disconnect property. And if you looked at anything that the city did one that was dissolution and one was disconnection of the property. So if you'd like to disconnect some properties that the township owns, you can do that. But if you're looking at dissolving the park district, then you probably need to just tweak this a little bit. The language that's in this particular resolution is okay. It's just on the heading. It should probably read a resolution endorsing citizens of Collinsville Township to disconnect the Collinsville Area to dissolve the Collinsville Area Recreation District. And I think if you decide to vote on this tonight, if you just make that amendment to the heading, the rest of this will fall in line and you'll see okay there. So if you decide to do that, and I will let you know there's been a lot of discussion around town, and I've had questions. I think some of the other people here had questions. Is what happens if the Collinsville Area Recreation District is dissolved? One thing you're pretty certain is going to happen is your property taxes will go down. If you live in the city of Collinsville, they'll go down. The city of Collinsville did raise their property tax rate slightly this last year on a previous agreement. But if you live in the Collinsville unincorporated area or you live in Maryville, you're most likely going to see somewhere around a 20 to 21 cent, maybe a little bit more, reduction in your property taxes. And part of the reason I think that the city passed a resolution endorsing the dissolution, and I know the village of Maryville did some time ago, the village of Glen Carbon did, and the village of Pontoon Beach, which are all included, and then just recently the city of Collinsville, is they want to avoid double taxation of the residents within the city of Collinsville. Again, for the residents that you're talking about here, the ones that are in the township, they automatically, because they're not paying any city taxes, they will automatically get about a 20 cent or a little bit more reduction in their property taxes. Plus, again, if the park district is dissolved, that there will be roughly $3 million of reserves that the park district has currently. That'll be used to pay off long-term debt, and once that long-term debt is paid off, it will also account for about $1 million worth of interest. And again, these are rough numbers, they're not down to the penny, but we've done some calculation. That'll translate into the citizens also saving money because there won't be any property taxes that will be levied against the citizens in the future to pay into that. One of the questions that comes up, and I've heard this from various people, is, the city's going to have to raise its property taxes. As I said earlier, one of the things that a resolution like this does, and what the city did, is they are interested in trying to not double tax the residents of Collinsville. And also, if the park district goes away, the residents who live in the unincorporated area of Collinsville Township will no longer have any card taxes except for the debt, which everybody has to pay off. So as I said earlier, they're going to save about 20 cents per hundred for the rest of the term that they're in there. I've heard people say, well, the city's got this, or the park district has got that. The long and the short of it is, right now, we have entered into agreements to give back the city's parks that were being leased. Maryville got Pleasant Ridge Park. We're in the process right now. There's been an agreement signed and passed by the city of Collinsville and the Collinsville Area Recreation District to transfer over Willoughby Farms and Splat City to the city. And we have the golf course, which is on a 30-year lease. Payments are coming in to pay down the future debt. So the question then becomes, and each citizen will have an opportunity to do this probably at an election coming up to make a vote whether or not they want to dissolve the park district. That'll be up to each individual citizen. All we're trying to give out some facts to you is, if this happens, the taxes will go down, and you'll have a park district that will own nothing or operate nothing. But if the park district stays in existence and isn't dissolved, there will be some taxes that will have to be collected. We'll have to pay some insurance, we'll have to pay some liability insurance, just like your board pays E&O insurance for your directors. You'll probably have to be an attorney hired. They'll have to do an audit every year. So the park district, although it will have nothing to operate, and it will have nothing that it owns, because the city is going to be also doing the recreation programs, you will have some taxes paid at that point. And basically, it will be probably 5 commissioners and a director that is doing nothing, but will still be paying taxes. So the dissolution becomes a matter of, and supporting any kind of dissolution effort means you're trying to save your taxpayers money because the park district doesn't own it anymore. So that, I just want to give you some facts of what's going to happen and what will happen to some of the money that's there. Part of the money, a very small portion of it, roughly $150,000 to $170,000, is in restricted funds by state law. If the park district is dissolved, those monies will go to the school districts on a pro rata basis. Collinsville will get the bulk of that, but there'll be a very small portion to go to, I think, maybe Granite City, because there's a small portion in Manioki, and there's a small portion in Glen Park.
Now, that's monies that CART would have to.
The monies that we have currently, are in the Social Security Fund, in the IMRF Fund, in the Tort Fund. All those that are considered restricted funds, by state law, it says that there's a dissolution of the park district. Those funds have to go to the school district. All the other funds that we have, for operating funds, capital funds, etc., those will be used to automatically pay down debt, which if the debt gets paid down, as I said earlier, then you won't be paying, there'll be no levy on those taxes in the future. So that's a decision, your board needs to make it. As I said, the only thing if you're going to support a dissolution, you just need to make that tweak in language up there. So I mean, I think I very briefly covered everything. Does anybody have any questions?
It's a lot to
I
No, I mean, it is a lot.
I have a question, and hopefully this will clarify it, because twice you said 21 cents, and if anybody's watching at home, they're like, damn, 21 cents. 21 cents per hundred.
Per hundred.
And how much would that be per house?
You're not even making me do math.
I paid $450 last year on a car.
And probably about half of that went to the debt, and the other half went to the operating side. So on your house, you would be looking at, again, without knowing the specific number, about $200 of that would be gone.
Right. I would save about $200.
You'd save about $200.
So for anybody that wants to know, if you look at your tax bill, and if it was $400, if it gets dissolved, it'd go to $200 in the township, because you're not going to have to pay Collinsville tax.
Okay.
I think, maybe I'll make this really, really short. What you guys are what the people that you represent, or the township, the unincorporated of Collinsville Township, that make up part of CART. This park district is dissolved in November. A person that lives in the district doesn't live in an incorporated area. Theirs is going to go down approximately 50%, approximately, based on your house and stuff. If you're paying $200, you're going to save $100. And in about 17 years, if it's dissolved, the long-term debt will go away. You won't pay anything. People in Collinsville that live in the incorporated areas, Maryville, Glen Corbin, Montague Beach, they're all a little bit different, especially Collinsville, because Collinsville's going to have to come up with their own park system, which they've already done. They've hired a new park director. It's already in motion. So I live in Maryville. I'm out, like I said the other day. I got out by disconnect because I was contiguous to the boundaries. If I was a resident that lived in Collinsville, first thing I'd be scratching my head is, if this thing doesn't get dissolved, I'm going to be paying for a park director, parks, and I'm also going to be paying 100% to Collinsville card because it's still in place. They don't have any assets, so I guess going back to what the people that you guys all represent, this, in my terms, is a no-brainer. They don't own any parks, so why do they want to pay for them? They're going to be able to use any park they want for free.
You had a question, Dan?
Yeah. I know for instance, if this did pass in November, and my taxes don't go from 450 to 225, and, it doesn't pass and I'm paying more, the excess money is going to be paid again. Is that not correct?
Not if it doesn't pass, Dan, because if it doesn't pass, then the park district will, to some extent, just continue on. I mean, another board gets in, another board can decide to start buying more stuff, doing all kinds of things.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question, if I'm understanding right. If it's dissolved, then they're no longer a taxing entity.
They're no
They
longer
won't be able to have levies.
there will be no more levies. The debt that is out there will automatically be paid. The long-term debt that is in existence, everybody has to pay that off. Even someone like Larry, who's
And I'm out. I
disconnected,
got out, but
he
still
still
am
has to pay the
obligated. I'm
long-term
obligated
debt.
to pay.
But what it does do is, once it's dissolved, there will be a levy set every year by the treasurer's office, and the bond companies that have the bond holders will tell the bond paying agent that we have currently, that everybody who issues bonds is a paying agent. That paying agent will automatically send a notice to the treasurer's office to collect X dollars each year for the debt that's outstanding, based on whatever that principal payment and interest payment is going to be. It's kind of complicated. I mean, I have kind of a hard time explaining it because, I'm a numbers guy, but when you look at what has to be done, but we've already been in discussions with some of the paying agents, and they said there's money going to be coming in from the golf course operations to pay against the debt. There's other money that may be coming in from the debt. then if we take the excess money and apply it to the debt, then that'll, again, reduce it. But again, answer Dan's question earlier, if the park district isn't dissolved, then, it's kind of still there, even though we've gotten rid of everything. It is a possibility for another board to come in and they could decide to buy something new and buy this and buy that. And they could go out and hire a new director and pay the new director $250,000.
I think.
Let me just finish that. And they could do that, and then, as Larry said, if you live in Collinsville, you're going to be double taxed, and your residents that were going to save 50% roughly are now going to be taxed again because somebody's going to raise it up.
Yeah. I have not heard exact figures. I mean, I know them through the grapevine and that there's some bond people and stuff like that. But I'd like somebody to say, what is that long-term debt? What amount is that?
It's about $23 million.
He's real close, Mike.
It's about $23
It's a
million.
little over $23 million.
And that can be paid off long-term, that can be paid, most of
That's
that paid off
17 years I'm
in
talking about.
17 years.
It's set up on a
Or
schedule.
earlier.
It's settled. It's scheduled to be paid off in 17 years. I mean, the last payment will be due in 17 years. Now, some of those bonds will get paid off earlier. They've got different payment schedules. But some will get paid off a little bit earlier. Again, if it's dissolved, the money that we have sitting around, because we're a district, just like you're a body that's got reserves, we won't need that money anymore, and then we can apply that to debt payments in the future. As I said, there's about $3 million that can be applied to pay debt off in the future, and when you look at what that will reduce the principal amount, that comes out to about $1 million of additional interest saved. So there's about $4 million of principal and interest that you, anybody that's got to pay it, and Larry, and
No, I'm out, remember?
you're paying the debt.
I'm paying the long-term debt.
You'll
but
no longer
I'm
have
out.
to pay that portion of the debt because we've used those excess reserves to pay down the debt. But that's about what it is right now. It's about 23 million plus. Just a little bit.
It's the worst-case scenario, Mike. It could get better. It could get better based on how much they have in reserves to pay towards the long-term debt.
Yeah,
We figure 17 years is the worst-case scenario.
I'm looking at that number, and part of it, again, we're going to be operating the Splash City through this year. And, last year was a pretty good year for Splash City. The weather was pretty good. If we have weather like this for the summer, Splash City might not make as much money this year, but it might be $100,000 less or $200,000. We don't know that, but that $3 million number is kind of based on where we looked at right now and what we have a levy coming in, because we levied money last December, and it's the best estimate, but we'll be able to tweak the numbers as we go along and let people know what
Can
If
we
we-
ask-
okay.
One more question, Mr. Supervisor, and I'm sure. Can we get, besides this resolution, whether we have it or not, I think we should table it and get this changed out. Can we get something down on letterhead from Barb that spells out the whole stuff for everybody and amounts?
We can get you some estimates of what they are.
Well, that's.
Yeah, I mean, we can get you some estimates of what the potential savings is going to be. Again, part of it is the unknown factor. We don't know exactly what we're going to collect in taxes this year. We have a pretty good idea. We're not sure what's going to happen as far as the Splash City this year. Our agreement with the golf courses, that they pay us based on the number of rounds, and they're also paying some additional money. So, I mean, there's a little bit, but we can give you some rough estimates of what's going to be in there. And again, part of the issue is, as I said earlier, if the park district isn't dissolved, there's nothing to preclude the board after that from going out and taking some of that money, just going out and buying something else. They could buy something, and all of a sudden you've got the same kind of entity that you had before. You just got that all over again, and then the money that you were going to save 50%, now you may not be saving it. The city of Collinsville residents in particular, and that's one of the reasons that the city of Collinsville residents the city council supported the dissolution effort when they decided they wanted to do their part. They don't want to see the city residents double taxed. And that's dissolution basically avoid double taxation for the city of Collinsville residents.
The reason I asked the question is because I got a lot of taxpayers that are asking me, what's their best?
That's why we wanna let them know.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, again, if you live in the town, if you live in a
There's a lot of
unincorporated
them.
area, as Larry said, it's kind of a no-brainer, because you'll no longer be paying any tax for the operating expense.
One more follow-up, because there's a lot of people that think they're going to get double taxed either way.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna be double taxed.
Well, that's why I like.
Let me
to
say
know.
something
Yeah,
first,
go ahead.
Mr. Deming. If we agree to do this, this is best us not to get involved until you guys get this out.
Why would that be the case, Terry? Why would it be best that we don't get involved for it to help pass it, to help our citizens?
No, I'm just,
It has to pass with 66%. I believe that we're elected to tell our citizens and to help our citizens out. Collinsville, Maryville, Glen Carbon, every single taxing entity in government has already said, hey, this is a good thing for you guys. I don't want the township to be the last ones on board. They need our help, and like Mike said, he has people asking. He has people asking him, hey, what do we do when people come to our door and want us to sign, or should we be for this or against this? I want this board to say, this is good for you, especially in the township, because they're definitely not going to get double taxed because they're not getting taxed by Collinsville City. Do you see what I'm saying? They're not getting taxed by Collinsville
I'm not
City.
arguing that.
What I'm just
But I'm
saying-
saying, are we better off to wait until you guys dissolve, and then we'll tell you we would agree to do it.
Well, so we're going to endorse it after it passes? Is
Well-
that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Can I,
Yes.
go ahead, I'll wait.
Go ahead, Dan, and then I'm after you.
Gary, or, Ron, I got a question, two questions. One, can you get my talking point back to, like, this?
Yeah, I can get you some talking, some talking.
I'm all for passing this resolution, and I just don't tonight this, but I think we look to get it to where it needs to be, where where our attorneys have to do that, and you guys have what you want. But my other question is, what about the bonds? When's the last time they were refinanced? Because
The bonds were refinanced.
our market's been very volatile lately, and I'm just curious.
Yeah, the bonds were refinanced last time was about 2 years ago, and the bonds, because of the interest rates that they had on the bonds and the way the bonds were structured, they took a look at restructuring the bonds last year, and it wasn't financially feasible anymore, because a lot of the bonds, when they were initially done, is an example on the golf course. The golf course was bought in 2008. There was roughly $7 million was issued in bonds to purchase the golf course and some equipment. And the first principal payment on that particular bond was not paid until this year. So you've got bonds they were really back-end loaded on the principal payments. The interest payments have been they're going up slightly. But again, to answer your question, we've talked to the bond council, and they've talked to us, and we've looked at them, and at this point, it's just not feasible anymore. I mean, there were some bonds that refinanced, but not anymore.
Larry?
Just to answer Terry's question,
Historically, the market, the bonds go down, bond prices go down, but the market's up. So I would also suggest maybe look at that again.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, Dan, we're in contact with our bond, attorney and our bond people probably every 6 months, and they keep telling us it just won't happen. I mean, it's not feasible, because we have this, part of the issue.
Every bond, they call, there's a lot of.
Yeah, well, these particular bonds, the problem is a lot of them are staggered payments, and again, we've talked to some of the best people in the business, and they're telling us right now that we can refinance them, but the cost savings is not there. I mean, because some of these bonds are small dollar amounts, there's tremendous costs for the bond counsel, for the people that have to give an opinion on the bonds. By the time you add in all these costs, they can get into 6 figures just to refinance a bond, and you may save some money, but you got to pay all that cost, and when you do that, it's just not feasible. So, again,
I'm well aware.
yeah, we can't do that, so. Yes, sir.
Well, I guess I'll just make, one thing I had a question, maybe you could just clarify it simply. CARD, if it still exists, will be almost like a middleman between the county and parks money in grants and things like that, and the city. If CARD does not dissolve, will the city stand to lose money each and every year?
It's potential because the county provides PEP grant money, and right now the county has indicated that if CARD doesn't dissolve, they will not give that PEP grant money to the city.
Sure.
And so that the city will, without dissolution, the city will lose out on roughly $125,000. And let me get back and answer just briefly what Mike's question was. And I know, I've had the question, I'm sure Larry's had the question, other people, is, we may be double taxed. If, the city's got this property back, and we might be double taxed. All I can tell you is, if it doesn't dissolve, the city's not going to give that stuff back to us. So it's a done deal. The property that CARD owned is already gone to the city. It's going to Maryville's. It's all gone. So if people say, well, I'm going to be double taxed, the only way they're going to be double taxed is if the park district exists. Because again, if you went and talked to John Miller or the city council members or Mitch Baer and said, hey, if this doesn't dissolve, will you guys give this back to CARD so we don't get you taxed by you guys? And they're going to say, hell no, we got it. I mean, I talked to the Parks District, the park director today. She was at our Rotary meeting. They hired a recreation director. They hired a supervisor for the parks. So they've got all this infrastructure in place already that they're going to be, your taxes in the city of Collinsville may go up a little bit, but they've already indicated they don't want to see the property taxes go up a lot. And as Derek mentioned, there's about $125,000 of PEP grant money. And that PEP grant money will be available to the city. We can work to help the city get that money and keep down their expenses. But as far as people saying that live in Collinsville, I might be double taxed, the only way they're going to get double taxed is if the park district doesn't decide. Because they're not going to give back the parks. And they're not going to give Splash City and Willoughby Farms and say, it didn't dissolve, we're going to give it back to you.
We're over time now.
Okay.
Say one more thing and then.
Real quick, I just thought of this because when I was talking to the folks of the county, is there a chance that the township could actually get some PEP grant money for the recreational if CARD is dissolved?
That's potential.
No, absolutely. I talked to the county up there, just putting that out there.
That's a potential because they are available for.
Yeah.
There would be money that is available for, if you look at it, it's parks enhancement programs. And the definition of a park is pretty loose. There's places in the county that get money, and it could be money that you get for the senior center. It could be something related to the park. So that's there's a potential to get that. So, but anyway,
Step up to.
I just wanted to.
Appreciate your comments and questions, and we'll get you some of that.
Well, let me address
No more.
concerns.
No more. Let him say.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just got one question.
Real quick.
It is real quick. Dan, you mentioned when the attorney's okay with it. Jack, are you okay as long as we change this dissolve with this resolution?
I will go along with whatever this board decides.
But are you?
would take a close look at it.
Well, he's the one that
An
printed it
amendment
out.
by interlineation is fine with me, but this is it. So what to do on this is a political decision, and I will let this body politic.
But if we pass this tonight, you're fine with the board passing this tonight if we wanted to?
I don't have a position.
I don't want to pass it tonight. How much do you guys do?
Let's run down the agenda. This is on the agenda, down the agenda. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
I have one question. You're saying, gentleman here is saying that if you, we're gonna lower our taxes half, Larry's been saying that, for 3 years now since we were there, when they said 20 years slow and all that, years ago.
I was trying.
Okay, if they lower that tax, like you said, in half, where's the money gonna come to pay for everything what the city's already, spending?
Is that a question to me?
To the board.
You're obligated, anytime there's a bond issue, you're obligated by long-term debt. There's operation and maintenance, that's O&M, that makes up part of their budget, that card, and the other is long-term debt. Regardless whether this is dissolved or undissolved, all the people that live in Collinsville Township is obligated to pay the long-term debt. What goes away is the operations and maintenance,
But if you
which
lower,
for Maryville will be about 50%. Everybody's a little bit different. Collinsville's gonna be not quite as much, because they're gonna have to have parks, and I'm sure they're gonna tax appropriately to make sure their parks are kept nice and taken care of and run properly. So I can't speak for what Collinsville does. I can just tell you that all of us, and I recently got out of cars, I'm still obligated for the long-term debt portion.
so,
Yes, sir.
so is all,
All of us are. You're right, you're correct. You are
that's what they
correct.
said 3 years ago.
Everyone, I mean, that's by law, that's by
So I
not
don't know.
anything they
So I-
do.
I don't understand
by law.
why you guys come up and say that we're gonna lose, or our taxes are gonna go down half. If they're,
It's just on that line item, just on the line item that says card on your tax bill. It won't be for the city of Collinsville corporate tax. It'll just be the line that says Collinsville area revenue.
I understand that.
We can address that point offline, with 2 more members.
Yeah, I'd like to table this now until the
This
next
isn't on.
meeting. Well, we're gonna get to on the agenda and then we'll talk about it.
Third Tuesday
Okay. And,
I'm gonna go on.
yeah.
Yes. That's what I've been trying to do. Yeah. Okay. GA bills?
I don't know when I bring my issue, because on the agenda, just so we understand, we have the dissolution of card right here on the old business coming up, and we can get to that. But on the bills, I thought we were making good progress. Dan, I don't know if you got your bills or whatnot. I had to get a hold of Vicki today to actually get the receipts. But then on our agenda, I guess you have the agenda there in front of you, but do you see anything different? I'll show it to Brandon even.
And you said you didn't get yours?
No, I got mine. Is there any difference between this and this? What'd you say, Dan?
Derek said, do you see? And I didn't-
On the agenda, do you have your agenda in front of you?
There's so,
That's right.
with your permission, I can address this.
Okay.
So, the agenda needs to be posted in its final form 48 hours before. And what's been happening is the agenda gets changed in the intervening time,
Okay.
and that's inappropriate.
Right, we have to be
So-
48
so-
hours,
so-
right?
Right, so the agenda that you've been having at meetings with the numbers on it is not a valid agenda. Now, if you want to call it something else, if you want to call it
That's fine.
meeting sheet or something like that, but it's not an agenda.
My point is that these numbers, all right, our number one duty, I've been preaching this for years, our number one duty is to be auditors of the funds, okay? It was brought up last meeting, the meeting before, and all year, that we would like to see the receipts, okay? So, when I called today and I asked Vicki, well, what are the numbers that I can compare these bills to, okay? I have yours, all right? She says, well, they were emailed to you. They were not. We were given these just now, I assume. I haven't been explained what they are, all right? And so Dan definitely doesn't have the numbers because they're right here. And Vicki told me, per you, that we are not allowed to get a print copy of them. But I see you have a print copy of them. That's what she told me.
Well, I can't, I wasn't there for that
So
conversation.
can we get a print copy of the bills if we want one?
Those are public documents, so anyone can come in and get those.
Derek, I got a copy of them on Friday.
No, that,
The general assistance bills, never do that.
what I'm saying is, Dan, on your agenda, okay, on your agenda, as all year, we have numbers, and I understand what our attorney is saying. They're gonna change the way they're doing it, okay, which I'm fine with. First of all, I would love some explanation exactly, but my point is, until I got in here tonight, until I just saw this, all right, I have no way to check the receipts against the balances and just to make sure, to be an auditor, that everything is there. I just want to point out, I started a new board. This is the one package, one meeting, all right? I get this every single meeting. That's how much it's printed out. We should be able to print out just a simple bank log of where we're at. It's like a checking account.
Can I answer?
I got an email last Friday at 4:09 p.m. and they're on the email list. So I got a copy of the check.
Did you get a copy of everything you wanted, Dan? Now, wait a minute. Dan, did you get a copy of everything you wanted?
No,
I got a copy of the check register, which matches up with the numbers. All they did was they took the check register number there, and they put it on that agenda report. But they were doing that after the 48-hour notice. So that's not, you can't work off that as an agenda, because you're changing it after 48 hours. That's why there's no numbers on there now.
Okay, so my point is, do you see the amounts on the town fund?
One you was talking at a time.
Let me finish,
Yes,
please.
right, yes. Go ahead.
The part, the register that you signed is the same number that used to be on the agenda. So, once we signed the meeting, that number is the one that was on the agenda before. So if you have those sheets that were emailed to you on Friday, and then there's one packet that's the agenda, or not the agenda, but the numbers, all the check register sheets that we signed, and the other attachment was the bill, copies of the bill. And yes, I did look at them all in there.
Okay, I'll if I can ask the clerk, was this sheet that I'm looking at right now with the actual up-to-date numbers that are usually on the agenda, was this emailed to us?
No, because these numbers, hold on, were never on there. This is last month's balance. Remember when she said she doesn't have all the balances until the checkbook is balanced? This is the number for last month.
Okay, so we don't
Okay.
have up-to-date
And this
ones.
was just given to you tonight,
Okay,
in person.
what I'm saying is before,
You're questioning the numbered one, and that's the one that is not legitimate to
Gonna
do.
show it
That's
in-
the one he
right.
was talking about.
And so what Dan's not understanding, when I have to show him in person.
You're talking two different things.
It's, right, we're talking two different things, Dan. Moving forward, can we, I see you have a printout. So Vicki does give you a printout of yours.
What do you mean a printout?
A printout of everything. I got nothing. I asked for it, I said that I was not allowed to. That's what I was told today.
Where did I get a printer?
She said you either get them by email or you get a printout. Either one, you can't have
I
both.
got an email on Friday, the same email you got.
Okay.
Can I answer?
Is that the same one that Mike got?
Mike gets it because Mike gets his whole packet, always has, handed to him. He doesn't use email.
Okay.
I use
Because-
email, but I don't want it that way.
Right, that's fine. If I want it on paper as well, if email doesn't cost anything, I want it to be email, I want it on paper, just like this.
You've had it
Can I
emailed
get it?
several times, and then you still come up here and gripe at them.
No, I come up and get it. I come up and get it because sometimes I'm low on
You
ink.
can't have
My
your cake
point
and
is,
eat it too.
what? That's my point.
Wait. Now, you're up here a lot anyway.
Any document that Derek would like, if anybody else did, I think we need to give it to him.
Right, I mean, that's what I'm just making sure, so.
Well,
Okay.
if I could
And I
answer,
agree.
I would say he could request.
Okay.
Well, I'm requesting.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Okay, we got that covered now? Everybody happy? Okay, going on. Do we get,
So we know to move on.
the general assistance bills, do we get that covered?
Yes.
No, we haven't
No,
voted on
no.
it.
No, I don't think so. Okay, can we get a motion on the GA bill?
I made a motion.
Mike, second by? Second. Any questions? With that roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Trustee Royer,
Yes.
and Supervisor Allen.
Yes. Going on, the road and bridge fund bills. Any questions on the road and bridge? There's none, roll call.
No, we got a motion.
We got a motion by Mike, second by? I'll second. Okay. Any questions? There's none, roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Trustee Royer,
Yes.
and Supervisor Allen.
Yes. On the equipment fund,
No.
nothing on the equipment fund today? Okay. The town fund bills,
So we could,
Do we know how much they're for?
46,367.88.
So it's on that.
town fund bills for a little over 46,000.
You don't,
Oh, that's what I'm saying, we don't have it.
you didn't have the total.
Right.
Right.
At that time,
Anyway,
you tell you.
I've got it, this
Young
is.
man.
You sure you don't want to write it down?
No, I just have a few.
Okay. Town fund bills, Mike, can you make a motion?
yes.
Give me a second. Second. Any questions? You got it? Roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Trustee Royer,
Yes.
and Supervisor Allen.
On correspondence, the Madison County Township officials, which that's meeting will be tomorrow night, Wednesday, Thursday.
Just a
I
reminder.
don't know if he's already been
Thursday
there. Yeah, Thursday. I don't know if he's already been there. He's on that board, but, it's kind of interesting. It's always on Thursday night. It's never like 7 o'clock. And,
Just fill it in out.
Is that something I have to attend?
you don't have to attend, no.
That's not sure.
It's nice once in a while. You can't make it all the time. It's nice once in a while.
What time is it, Terry?
I think it's 7 o'clock,
7:30.
7:30.
And where?
10-0.
Pin Oak Township, right off the interstate. You know, if you go up the interstate, pardon me?
Anybody else planning on going?
Well, I'm gonna go if someone goes, but that's the only way. I'm not going all that way by myself.
I'll go if you go.
I'll go if I'm not. I
Sound
got
like
it.
All right, let me see what time I get back in there. I'm gonna get back in town Thursday.
Okay. I made them for
Give me
years
and
and
Brandon a
years.
call.
Yeah, they had me chairman of it for years and years, and that's how fun it got. Okay. The meeting is April 26th, okay. Okay. Then we got letters of request for donations. So we got the high school band, which, we feel, what we given last year was $250, would everybody agree with that? Again,
Yes.
$50 to the high school band. Can we get a motion in second? Any questions, if not, roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yeah.
Trustee Royer,
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Good. Yeah.
200, was it 200?
250.
The fourth grade jamboree, that's the one during the summertime, isn't it? For
No.
that's summertime one? Which one is it?
The jamboree is the one we thought we might have missed, but it's for the fourth grade, and I guess they do like a little, sports activity.
I've heard great things about it.
And
We
they print.
we did it
t-shirts.
We didn't vote it on it last meeting?
We've done it before, though.
Okay, so, what they've given in the past is 100, but you can give 100, 250, or 500.
Make a motion, we give what we did in the past.
$100, we got a motion, second. Any questions? None, roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
I got to figure out the message here. Trustee Foley,
Aye.
Trustee Hopkins,
Yes.
Trustee Royer,
Yes.
and Supervisor Allen.
Yes. Then we have the Shrine Club for $100.
And what the Shrine Club is, they do for children, right, Terry?
Yes, yes, trying to.
What event is it?
I don't know the exact events, but, I don't know the question of shrine. Yeah, I know that.
Charities for children.
How's the charities for children?
That's the Shrine Club.
Is that the summer lunch one too, Vic?
Excuse me?
Is that the summer lunch one also?
No.
No, okay.
Motion to approve the Shriners for $100.
Yeah.
We got a motion, we get a second?
Terry, second. Okay, trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins,
Yeah.
trustee Royer.
Yes.
You said yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear him. Supervisor Allen.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. Give them the.
For this week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Vic?
Also, just while I'm looking for that, because I don't have that paperwork now, Terry.
Hey, Vic?
The annual mayor's dinner, which is Maryville.
We already,
We decided that.
we already decided that.
We
Okay,
decided
We just
that.
can buy our own.
just a
You
reminder,
can explain,
and
okay.
that's on May 3rd.
Summer lunch one. That's the one we've always participated in.
You got it.
Yeah, I might have it down here. So,
It's the HHH summer program down at St. John's that feeds like 78 kids a day. And they have activities for the kids, like they teach to keep up with schooling, and they do gym class, different things to keep the kids out of trouble all summer long. We already, they sent a thing, they've got a new program this year, trying to get, people to donate money to be on their Facebook page and their website, and kind of sponsor that, but like I told Terry, we already gave them $3,200.
that's been paid already.
That went to their budget for this, that was approved last year as part of this budget, this year for their food, because we pay for the food for the kids. And we give them $3,200 because they lost their federal grant money, so they have no grant money, so the township stepped up and gave them that. So we're already giving them $3,200, so I think they should be able to put us on there somewhere since we're giving them $3,200. Rather than us give them more money. That's up to you guys what you want to do, but.
Yes, I don't know what the question.
They just had a request.
Oh, they had a request for
For
more.
more money.
Yeah, 3,200. We give the food pantries 2,500. You know, I think it's a great cause, and I'm not opposed to more, but I just, can we, when did they need it by?
What, they already have the $3,200.
No, when is this event?
It's all summer long.
Oh,
Starts when
okay.
They
school
feed the
gets-
kids.
it starts when
Okay,
school
well,
gets-
can we revisit it, like, in a couple months, or in a month, in June? Say, revisit, if they're in desperate need of money, and after we get through our budget or whatnot, can we revisit it? Okay, because we've given them
In the fall is
3,200,
when normally-
that'll get them to June. That's fine.
What if they were exactly asking
Pardon me?
Dan, they were asking for more money. They started some new programs with the website and Facebook and things, and they were trying to get sponsorships for that.
for? Okay.
And,
They're trying to raise more money, they came back out.
right, well, they sent it out to everybody, I think that was on their list, but we already give them $3,200 in October so they could get their budget going for this year for the kids, you know, the food
Okay.
schedule.
I make a motion that we revisit it on June the 12th meeting.
Or we just reach out to them, tell them to,
We already offer volunteer workers. I was giving up my lunchtime to go down there and work, and Cinda's granddaughters work. They volunteer. They ask for volunteers. Anybody like to volunteer for an hour or two a week? It helps out. So that's part of it too.
I know it's fine.
Because it happens all summer long, what
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
saying
kids
is,
don't eat.
well, that's what I'm saying, but
Well, they
we've
get
given
everything like
3,200, can that get us through June the 12th?
that $3,200 is for the food all summer, Terry, that they're going to feed them. They've already.
I'm
figured
just
that
saying,
part
let's
out.
just make sure they're not in desperate need on June the 12th, that was my motion. If we could revisit it then, and I think we'll have a better understanding of our finances
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think picking a barrier is precedent enough that we'll have to post it when they need it. And we can revisit it sooner or later, whenever it's right.
Exactly.
So under the rules, you did your motion to postpone to a particular date.
Right, that's what I just did.
Right.
So I made a motion to postpone it till June the 12th.
You have a motion to postpone it to June 12th.
What we talked about earlier.
To
St.
bring this
John's
up again.
Hamburger.
We got a
Okay.
second. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Yeah, roll call.
Did you get it, Dan? The motion is to delay it, to decide on it until June 12th meeting. So
We'll just put it on that agenda.
it'll go on to that agenda, but we have to vote on it. So, trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Foley,
Uh,
trustee Hopkins,
Yeah.
trustee Royer,
Yes.
and supervisor Allen.
Okay, is that, going on, Mr. Don Kendrick, who's been on, the Berryville Fire Protection District for 40 years, almost 39 years, was get put in again this time, and, he's been very good, right, Larry?
Excellent.
Yeah.
He's, been the president for
Forever.
as long as I've been in
Right.
elected office,
And
34
if Larry
years.
put up with him, that he's staying around.
he's a good
Motion
man.
to approve his appointment.
He's good, but we got a motion,
I
a second.
second that.
We have a motion now, a second? Okay, second.
Yeah, I second
Okay, any questions? If none, roll call.
We skipped, so we'll go back.
Which one else, yeah?
Just make the hell, let's have a vote.
Okay.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins, trustee Royer,
Yes.
and supervisor Allen.
Yes. What was your question?
Well, we skipped all the way from old business to the bottom of new business on the agenda.
Okay. Is the big last one your question?
We didn't.
No,
Old.
we haven't even got there. We skipped the phone system. It's.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't have that down yet. We can get to that. Okay, I wanted to get these out of the way
Oh, but I thought we were supposed to go by the agenda.
first. Okay, well, that might be my fault.
But I'm not trying to explain.
Okay.
We got people here that didn't want to stay on that long. but-
That's why we skipped the phone system.
Well, we should look in there sometimes.
First of all, I want to get this one out. The vacant lot down here,
Mhm.
but next to the senior citizen building, now he's at 125,000. We didn't get no response on what's underground. So that's the key.
Motion to table it.
Yeah.
Second.
The motion is second, roll call.
And the motion second. Trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins,
Yeah.
trustee Royer,
Yes.
and supervisor Allen.
Yes. Moving on to the next. AAS.
That would be AAIC.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Proposed, the client looking for some money, because they've been helping us, and now, we agreed to make them our, AAIC, make them our people to take care of.
I make that motion.
I'm confused. Sorry.
I can't,
What-
you know who they are?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
This gentleman right there.
Yeah.
From the AIC's intersection.
Yeah, so what do we
Yeah,
voting
thank
on?
you, sir.
3 or 4
Brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what are we voting on?
Yeah, well, we've had a proposal, I think, since January.
Right.
It's kind of, scope's changed a little bit. The latest proposal stated February 22nd, so I, lists the work items that we were planning to do on this building and the seniors.
Right.
Because the price could change if we don't act here.
Well, I don't know about that. We try to, look into that future a little bit, but, yeah, we're just ready to start anytime you're ready to start.
But we need to be, as a motion, have them on paper.
Yes,
Yeah.
can I just make a suggestion?
Yes, go right ahead.
And maybe our attorney can advise us the best way, but, maybe even have instead of a meeting, or it could be a special meeting, where it's just talking about building improvement, where we can exchange ideas, what works, what doesn't work. It doesn't have to be even for the public. I don't know, maybe it has to be, but my point is just to figure out just this, nothing else, and then we can move forward.
We should bring it up in a meeting, though.
Well, I think, I mean, I've met with Dan, and, you know, we've probably starting around December last year, we've made several trips
Yeah, and I was
here,
at the meeting too, yeah.
discussed the scope, refined the scope, and came up with this list of improvements. So we have had those interactions with some of the people.
Right, I just love to be involved, just to know exactly what's going on. Then, so as a board, we can decide, hey, we want to do these improvements, and actually start them.
And I think what we'd like to do is one thing at a time, and I think the most important thing right now is the protection for our workers, is coming in the front door, you know, who's coming in just with a gun or without a gun or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, anyway,
I mean,
I'd like to discuss everything, and it would
well,
take a long time.
I don't think we'd have it all at one time, the proposal, would we?
You know, it depends on how you package this.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to package like items, but we also want to package it so that it's, in your best interest economically to do the work.
No, and I don't, I'm trying to look back here.
Rather than piecemeal, as we piecemeal it, it gets more expensive.
What I'm suggesting is, though, is instead of make a decision tonight, is that what you were wanting to do?
Not necessarily, we could make it next time.
No, I'm just saying, there's always been a next time. Do you like my suggestion that if we just have a meeting where we can figure out?
We don't have a problem coming back and reviewing the scope of work with you. But, you know, it's...
Eric, if you want to walk through with Randy and I, or I'll walk through with Randy without me, you know what, Randy will meet you and show you what the scope of the work is. That way you'll be more informed.
No, I'm fine. Either way, I just wanted, as a board, to decide exactly what improvements we want to do and what improvements that maybe we don't want to do, instead of saying no or yes right this second. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's the one we want to do first, to protect our people.
Yeah, and I was iffy on that.
Why is that?
Well, the price, I don't have the price right in front of me again.
I see where you're coming from.
And again, Collinsville City doesn't have it. They deal with cash. We don't actually deal with cash. I'm not saying that I'm against it. I would just like to know, why is that the first thing that's necessarily needed, when I believe there's things at the senior center that needed to be done first.
I think because it's our employees.
I want to do it all together. I would not want to.
Right, and that's what, okay, so Dan, that's what I'm saying is that I'm not prepared to say yes to 400,000, I mean, how much was the?
408,000.
408,000 right this second.
Piecemeal.
I'm just not
Right.
prepared to do that.
And he says we're better off now.
Right.
Well, we're not going to spend that money. We're going to have them do the design work and go out for this, and know how much this costs.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
just estimates.
I'm fine with that. Yep, fine with that.
Just like the walk-in cooler that's still on there, we're gonna bid that, but I don't wanna pay $30,000 for a walk-in cooler and a walk-in freezer.
Okay.
Just to cover for $12,000, put $620 in full year.
So you didn't have that, so we're voting to.
Right, we have that.
Got it, love it.
What you're voting on is our contract to design and bid the work.
I make a motion.
Yep, second.
We have a motion and we have a second.
Okay,
And that's the way they feel like, they feel better.
So, I guess,
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Either way.
either one,
Yeah.
okay.
Any questions? If done, roll call.
Trustee Hawk,
Yes.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins,
Yeah,
trustee Royer,
Yes.
and supervisor Allen. So what exactly was somebody?
To get, bids from
It would be for us to design.
Let
a
him
bid
speak.
package,
Let him speak.
That's based on the scope of work that we've outlined. That's the agreement.
Okay.
So if you, Terry, if you guys, somebody wants to sign that, send this back to us. Sure. We'll,
Yeah, you wanted to become board, and I don't, you wanted it on paper, I heard you.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Take
Thank you.
care of that.
Thank you.
Okay. There was nothing on the parking lot and building maintenance, other than, yes. Then we moved on to, discuss resolutions.
Yeah, and we
Did that.
We did that.
well, that was input from the residents. This is for the board. Okay. I'll try not to make this long and drawn out, because there's folks here, that had come, but I think everybody knows, what the issue is, but I'm just gonna make my pitch. We were elected by the citizens, and for sure, in the township, unincorporated areas, every city, Maryville, Collinsville, Glen Carvin, even Unit 10 is getting ready to do this. I don't want us to be the only ones saying, we'll say yes after it passes. That doesn't make any sense. What I'm saying is we need to let our citizens know this is a good deal for them. Just like Mayor Village said, this is a no-brainer, especially for folks in the township. This is going to save them money. and-
All I was saying is, I'd like to have a resolution from them saying that they will adopt.
No, no, Terry. What I'm saying is, we have to, as citizens, they have to sign over about 5,500 signatures to get it on the ballot, okay? This is we as a board, we're saying, hey, we agree with this to get it on the ballot and dissolve CARD because it's gonna save you taxpayer dollars. That's all it's doing.
And that's what I
Can
wanted.
I-
Yeah,
can I
please do.
just-
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I think that Derek is saying is what's happening is this resolution is going to, the purpose of a resolution like this is to endorse a public question that would be on a ballot. This is right. It's not our
Exactly right.
decision, it's not
We're
our
just
decision.
endorsing.
Yeah, it's
You're
not
not
our decision
voting.
to dissolve it. It will be it's up to the residents of Collinsville Township and the members who live within the boundaries of CARD to decide whether or not they want to keep that taxing body alive. So what you decide tonight is not going to decide the issue. It's essentially a public endorsement of where this township stands as a body.
Right.
Yeah, no
It's
problem
not,
with that then.
it's not changing anything, it's just telling our citizens.
Okay.
So, you go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
I wanna make a motion to table this till the next meeting, and that, so this is corrected there, that the order's changed.
I think that we can.
And, hang on, I got the floor. Secondly, when I question Mr. Jetta, who's the president down there, to make sure that we got on card letterhead, the different agreements with City Council, Village of Maryville, Pontoon Beach, Glen Carbon, what everything is with financial figures and stuff like that, because I don't wanna act like I don't know when a taxpayer asks me about this. And that's exactly, it's easy to say, saving a taxpayer money. The proof is in the pudding when it's down on paper.
That's right.
Then you're held to it.
But
That's the part I was getting at.
Can I second my?
Oh, good Lord.
We got a motion and
We
a
can
second.
change the word from disconnect to dissolve in 2 seconds.
That's not my only thing, Derek. My
No.
other thing is getting that from card.
I don't know what you're
We're
asking.
just, it's only one
He
meeting
knows
away.
what he knew what I was asking for.
Okay.
I think, I mean, if our attorney doesn't have a problem with it, I want a clean language, a clean resolution.
Exactly.
Changing this stuff, one word from a citizen, in the audience. I mean, I know Ryan knows what he's talking about. I'm all for passing this. I'm the one that actually for to put it together. And I wanna make sure that we have a proper document. We don't do this twice, we only do it once.
Exactly. We have a motion and a second, roll call.
Can I just say one
Yes,
thing?
ma'am.
When we're talking about, I guess it's a question for you. When we're talking about all this, passing and backing it up and answering, the voters' questions, we're limited, are kind of enclosed in the law on how we address it with the public, right? We can't go out and say we are promoting a resolution.
So that's kind of a sticky question. So, and And I will presume that, because I don't think it's very benefit when public officials are, for instance, in this capacity, Derek is functioning as a Collinsville Township trustee, and it's like, in this context, it's completely appropriate for him to endorse a policy.
Right.
But for instance, when the other elected officials are here, I'm presuming that they're here in their private capacity, that they're not using their public capacity to endorse a public question, because that's prohibited political activity. And so I'm going to assume that the folks that came here earlier are here in their private capacity as concerned citizens.
Right.
So to answer your question, yeah, Derek is absolutely within his right to take a position on this.
Yes, but if we vote for the resolution, then are we covered to go out and say, yeah, we're with the township, we want you to vote for this resolution?
But we're not gonna vote
You don't
for it
have to
today.
do anything. You
No.
don't have to do anything. All it is, we're doing what the other cities are doing.
That's
But
a political
Mike
answer,
said,
you're not answering the question.
Mike, but you said let's wait till next meeting to, and so does
Right,
Dave.
and I just want to make it clear, we can go on and vote, but our citizens are getting petitions now, so they're not going to have an answer from their elected officials on what to do. And that's all I was trying to do, Dan. I've talked to you since last summer about this. I don't know what, every other city has done this.
But the cities are involved and we're not.
Yeah, oh, my. I mean, yes, we are. Our citizens are getting taxed.
We have a motion and a second to my table.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait a
Can I
minute,
interrupt? Terry?
Pardon me? Go ahead. Speak loud.
Listen to me, I said that I am all for this resolution, but I don't want to be changing words and with scratching out and erasing things in the meeting.
It's
And I
one
agree.
word.
And
Our
I
attorney, I believe our attorney would agree that if I said, let's make a motion to pass the resolution and change from disconnect to dissolve, that he would be okay with that.
It's not gonna hurt us for 2 weeks, I don't think.
Again, I just said it, so
Yeah.
we've been waiting, I tried to get you guys Willoughby Farms, you didn't want that, that's fine. Be against it.
We didn't do anything against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Dissolve. From disconnect to dissolve. I'm sorry, I didn't.
no, that's okay.
Motion on the floor.
Then we wait till next meeting. Okay, we have a motion, and a second by Dan, roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes, oh, yes.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins,
Yeah.
trustee Royer,
Yes.
supervisor Allen.
Yes.
Thank you. Look at this gentleman here, man, he's been sitting there all night.
Yeah, go ahead. Agenda.
I'm
Mike.
married, I'm very patient.
No, you're good.
It's a talk on good thing.
Go ahead, that's all right.
Is there nothing on acquisition of property?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, well,
We just wanted to have-
yeah, but we don't have nothing on, okay, yeah, go ahead, and see who you are and what it's about.
Bill Thomas, with Brewster Alexander. You have a copy, or does everybody have a copy of it?
They do.
Okay. What we are, now, Brewster Alexander, we have furnished all of the,
You don't have it, Dan, sorry.
security cameras for the building here, for the senior citizens, for our road and bridges. So we've been working in here quite a bit. Our business has been moving not away from, but in addition to IT services and phone systems. And by the way, that is a microphone that is connected to the camera out there. So the meeting will be online tomorrow, so we'll to get that taken
Oh,
care of.
I
And the voice, the audio is very good, so. So anyway, what we're looking to do in this, we are going to, we're proposing the point, which is the voice over internet. Okay, it's a hosted service. We're looking at, in this building, or in this side, in the supervisor's side, we're looking at eight phones. And what our cost is per phone, service-wise, is $30 a month. So each phone has its own telephone number. It has a central number as you call them out, but you have 8 separate phones.
Okay.
The phone itself will vary depending on which kind you get. We have different quotes here. There's we have the supervisor's office, street department, or bridges, and the assessor's office records. So, and talking to Vicki and Terry when we brought this up, currently the supervisor's office is paying some $500 a month phone bills. Okay, $6,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
What we're proposing is service would cost $30 a month for 8 phones, would be $240 a month. The cost of which is $2,880 a year. The cost of the equipment would be, I believe in the supervisors was like $2,100 approximately. So for $5,000 for the first year, it would cost $5,000. So that's paying for the equipment and paying for the service. So
I have
the
a question when you say.
Okay, so the $6,000 that you have now, just on the existing phone systems, would be $1,000 less. And then the subsequent years, you're going to be now talking about half price, a little over half price. So there's a lot more features to the voice over internet phones. You can actually, let's say for example, because they are internet, if the internet goes down for any reason, it's a managed system to where the phone could then be redirected to a cell phone. It could be redirected to, or you could actually pick up the phone, take it to another location, take it home, plug it into the internet, and it's connected. So it doesn't matter where you are.
Okay.
So there's, go ahead.
I think
Dan? Dan?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now, do you sell the phones, or are you just designing them?
No, it would be installed. Installation is you set it on a desk and you hook up to the internet. And then
So your company actually sells the telephone?
we sell the telephone and the service. We host the service.
What service? The internet?
No, the phone service. It's a hosted server that is fiber run and UPS backup, so.
I'm actually the one that brought this up about a month ago, I believe. I talked to Vicki about it because I saw our phone bills were very high. And I appreciate you attending tonight, but something like this, I'd like to go out for bids and see what else is out there. Yeah. So,
But, so right now the proposal is for the supervisor's office, $1,035, correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's on the equipment.
And then, okay, the equipment, and what is the bill you're suggesting, because it'll be a set bill because it's internet, correct?
It would be set, it would be $30 a month per phone.
$240 a month, and what were we paying now?
You're paying $500, Vicki had said you were paying about $500 a month.
Okay.
about 580 actually.
$580, okay.
Where's your company located, sir?
Collinsville?
Okay.
And so, is that the same thing then for the assessor's office? We're paying about $580 a month?
I think it's all together, Gary.
Okay.
It's all included.
Yes.
Not Larry's though,
Vicki,
right?
the assessor's the same way?
Larry's, are you guys, and you're not planning on participating?
Okay. Okay.
We actually think, we might want to look at adding the senior center into that too, because they have internet down there.
It's on here.
We did.
They did.
Yeah.
But I can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a good question.
They left me out there. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's something I didn't see.
I don't think
I'm
they
sorry.
left you out. I think you left yourself out.
No, I'm sorry, that's all right.
We just got them today, Dan.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken, man.
I guess my only question now, if
for instance, the internet were to go down, does that mean the phones go down too, or?
The phone would go down. If the internet's down, it will go down, but it's a managed system, so how it's programmed. Say, for example, if you say, you wanted to go to Terry's cell phone, any calls coming in would go to his cell phone or to Vicki, or if it goes down, you could, if the Senior Citizen Center has internet, you can go in there, plug in one of the phones, and it would answer there.
Do we know how reliable our internet is? I've never had a problem, but.
We've never had a problem with that, I know.
It's been mighty
The only,
slow
the only
lately.
reason
That
we
might
say
be
this,
computer.
Go ahead.
the only reason we say this as far as the internet, because there is internet, things can go down.
Right, yeah.
But there's managed ways to get around that, okay? And that's just kind of a what-if, worst-case scenario.
Well, even my TV at home, I mean, it is internet-based, and it's been as good or better than anything I've ever had. You know, when there's storms, I don't lose it, you know.
One is, because I looked at this for other reasons, going through this, and, I've always had terrible internet where I'm at, so I was just.
You're scared, right.
That scared me, so.
Right.
That was my only question.
Well, one of the things you'll find on these is that the newer equipment also. Now, the VoIP's been around for a number of years.
Mhm.
The newer equipment uses less bandwidth.
Right.
So basically, you're not having much of a drain on your internet service.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with it, but I'm fine with, if we want to get a couple more bids, but I don't know how many other companies are in Collinsville and the Collinsville Township. But I think it's a good idea. It looks like cost savings, you know.
Definitely cost saving.
Right.
And the other thing too is, just as I mentioned, you always see service on TV, $29.95
Right.
a month, and then you look in the fine print and says for the first 3 months.
Right, so this is a set,
This is set for life.
okay. Well,
And you guys are right here in town.
Who's lying?
I have another question, whenever you're ready.
Go ahead,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead, Dan.
I guess, I mean, my thought is, I think the power's more likely to go out than the internet. Do we look at have a battery backup system on the system that's already included in there, or is it something to add?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. The hosted server that we have has fiber run to it, so it has a very good and consistent internet, but it also has battery backup. Any calls that would come in would still be managed by that server, which then can be directed to a cell phone, or directed, you can actually take a phone again, take it to home, hook into your internet, and you would have phone service.
Yeah, I'd like it. I mean, I would make a motion if we want to get another bid, and then by next meeting, let's look at the other bid, and then we act on something. I don't know what that exact motion would sound like or be.
There are a lot of features with the VoIP. You also have fax service with it. You don't really need a fax machine anymore. You also have email. Voicemail goes to email.
Oh, okay, yeah, I had that
you
at
don't
work,
lose
right.
that, right.
Just push play on your computer.
With
Yeah.
phone numbers, you have long-distance phone numbers. There's no long-distance costs within North America.
Right.
You have a virtual receptionist, so you have, you can direct your calls to whatever extensions that you need. The other thing I like too about this is that if you have, let's say if you want a phone call to go to Larry and he's out in the field, it goes right to you can send it right to his cell phone and nobody knows what his cell phone number is. It's just another extension.
Can we get a bid for you guys?
I've already got it.
Okay, you already got it, okay.
Can we ask voicemail rights to the trustees, or people do we let represent them? Or do we just go forward to our cell phones?
We can set your cell phones up as a extension. So if somebody wanted to do that, they
There's probably one line, trustees, and then you go to an
that's,
extension.
you can set that up regardless, So it makes it good. You can get your own voicemails from citizens that way.
I'm all for it, I mean.
Questions.
You
Oh,
know,
1 second. Vicki, do you have something else?
I just wanted Bill to tell them about the safety, the camera, phone, and the buttons, if you could tell them about that.
Well, we had also talked about it. I don't know if you saw this.
this is a video intercom system, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. The video intercom system, basically, someone could come to the door, ring the buzzer on the doorbell, okay? It would pop up a picture of who's at the door. You can kind of tell whether they seem like a threat or not, and when you can decide whether to let them in or not by the intercom and from your desk. Then this is a video phone. So it gives you a little bit more.
And so we already have, there's certain things that we already have with you guys.
Right. You know,
There's
cameras around the
Let's
building,
not wait, let's just get it started.
cameras senior citizen and road and bridges, so we're all covered.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and purchase this.
I second that.
We got a motion and a second. Any questions? Everybody happy? Done, roll call.
You make the first.
Second.
Larry, do you have any?
Okay.
I don't have any.
We need to vote on this, Jim.
I know, I just, that's what I was getting. Roll call.
Trustee Cox,
Yes.
trustee Foley,
Aye.
trustee Hopkins,
Yeah.
trustee Royer,
Yes.
supervisor Allen.
Aye.
I think it's a good deal, plus it's come to us.
Right. I don't know if
It was worth it.
We need to adjourn. I've been watching Kurt and Mayor Gullich, they're falling asleep.
I'm wide awake.
Larry, do you have anything else tonight?
Thank you, Larry.
No.
He's been there so long, he's growing a beard like me.
No, I haven't come
Okay, I have
here,
a
I can
question.
tell.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a couple things, and I realize that technically there's not supposed to be any answers when we ask questions, and I think that's what's blowing my mind this meeting. Because the last meeting, it was a fit by the board that we're not answering, and that's fine, and I respect that, because I went to the council meeting last night, and that's the way it was. People did their speaking, they took notes, and that was it. And as an observer, and I watched this on the video and different things, it's like the board is picking and choosing who they're going to answer to. And as a citizen, I'm frustrated. I really am, because I watch this. I mean, I've come to quite a few meetings, and when I'm up here, I'm watching it, and I hear from a lot of people that watch it, aren't you embarrassed by the bickering of the board? And it is, as a citizen, and I watch it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. And I shouldn't, and I'm not being
I
negative.
just think we wrote things out.
Right, and that's fine, but when you're seeing it on the outside, and if you've ever watched this video, if somebody's talking, and I'll use you for an example, you'll have board members over here having a different conversation where they're not even.
Well, we kind of eliminated that.
Would you suggest, I mean, because like Aaron was stating, that I think it lies with the supervisor to conduct the meeting, and I would like to make it smoother moving forward.
Well, there's a number of ways to approach this, and part of it's gonna, I mean, this is off the agenda, and
Right.
are you here as a public official, or?
No, I'm curious.
I stopped
A
recording, by
resident
the
of
way.
council.
No, and I don't care. I mean,
Yeah, I understand.
I'm an open book. So this part of the meeting right now, you should have had when we had public comment.
Yeah, but we were so focused on card, and everybody was in that
But
conversation.
always make your comment, though.
Oh, I understand.
But there's a public comment is for everybody.
I understand, but it was a debate. It was a very
But
heated
so
discussion.
the way this works, so, you know.
I don't have the agenda.
So the agenda is always posted online.
Right,
40 hours
I
in
got
advance. So we go
Right.
through, and then there's public comment.
I understand.
So that's when you do it.
And then I saw one down here, though, because I was looking at hers, where it says, other comments, other business or comments.
Right, and that's for the trustees. And so,
See, okay, so.
in
That's for the trustees.
and where this, I mean, we're just, I would assume that we're just kind of throwing the rules out the window right now for the purposes of this conversation. We have, there's a rule that applies about how this give and take is supposed to be conducted, and it's for the purposes of making an orderly meeting.
And I think
So what we do, and I'm sorry, I'm going to talk over you real quick. So that when we have people coming in, I know there's a tendency for everyone to just want to, I'm a citizen, I'm a voter, I just want to talk. So that's not how these meetings work. That's what the annual meeting is for electors to come in and weigh in. And I did notice that during the annual meeting, a lot of the electors had lockjaw and didn't say much.
Right.
And when the annual meeting was over, and you go back to more of a representative form of the meeting, then everyone needed to talk. I tried to weigh in imperfectly, certainly imperfectly. I was not exactly, but, so in terms of people being mean to each other, they're politicians, they're going to do that.
Well, I understand that, but when you're watching it from the outside and as a local, it's just, there's some things that you watch, and I just think it's and I think I said this, first of all, I said to you at the last meeting, you have done a lot as far as making more order into the
Yeah,
meeting.
that's
and
my...
that is nice. It is
My
nice.
personal thing is, when you watch the videos, I mean, it is just, apparent. I don't know if you ever read any of the comments. I've even printed out some of them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can take it with you. So my point is, but even when I'm making my speech, when we have our own attorney rolling his eyes and stuff, it's just not respectful. And what I'm saying is, if the rules should apply for everybody equally, and that's all I ask.
So I think that is a fair point. So, and since we're having, we're talking about manners and things, and I welcome that, and I welcome the criticism. Every time an agenda item comes up, it does not need to turn into Derek's sandbox.
No, this was the speech.
No,
This was
but
the
I'm
speech.
talking about generally. So when we're talking, typically if we're wanting order, okay, so the way the rules work is that when people are going to speak, the supervisor needs to recognize them first. That's
I agree,
Okay,
and that's
but
what
we
we
can't
can't
deny.
even stay.
right.
But we've done that all night tonight.
Yeah, so there's been, I would say that this is a work in progress, and I think that we can get this more orderly, but I think it's going to require everyone to buy into the program, to take in turns, and sometimes the impulse, and I get it myself, in fact, I think I'm doing it right now, is to talk without really paying attention to the protocols or the rules that we really are supposed to submit to by being a member of this public body. But it's going to require everyone to volitionally decide to adhere to these rules of conduct and basically mutual respect.
Work together, I agree.
Right, and I think
Okay.
that's true, and it's not one person. I mean, I'm talking as and I respect it, I really do.
And we don't have a sergeant at arms that's going to jump someone for being out of order.
Well, they did it at the last meeting.
Well,
They did? Yeah.
Well, it lasted
Because
20
my
minutes.
husband walked
I
out.
mean, it's
He walked
not.
out because they told him, and then he came back in, because they said, oh, wait a minute, you can talk. So, no, and Don doesn't, it doesn't, but the point is, it was more stricter, and I noticed tonight, every rule that was in effect at the last meeting wasn't in effect tonight.
well, again, there has to be some buy-in for everyone that buys it, and I think there's a certain amount of everyone recognizing that there are rules and adhering to them.
I agree.
So, I have no interest in being the meeting police, but at some point when things are veered out of control, and we were in public comments, and suddenly we have two people that aren't even trustees having their own discussion and taking place. That's clearly outside of the rules for public comment or for a regular meeting. What happens in an annual meeting, you guys can make whatever rules you want.
We've tried that. We brought Terry presented a rule that you had to put it in writing when you wanted to speak, and we voted that down.
Right.
I just asked that we stick to the agenda and stick to just basic rules. And if, like tonight, if somebody has a question, be able to answer it. Don't jump on them just because you don't like the question, And so if it works for one, it should work for all. And I
think everybody got along pretty good.
Well, I ask, and I'll just go on and tell you my frustration, because we were in the meeting the other day on Friday about the senior center, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but now I
Because it was
will.
an executive session?
What's that?
Because it was an executive session?
No, what I'm saying is when we were going to have the meeting.
Oh, okay.
When we were going to have the meeting, we all you were sick. Brandon, I, Terry, we all agreed. 30 seconds after Dan hung up, I said, hold on, I've got a meeting Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, all right? Terry goes, Friday doesn't work well for me anyway. Brandon was fine with moving the meeting. Then I was told that I guess Dan found out I had a meeting and said, we'll have it at Friday at 9.
Call Dan to 5.
And yeah, and that's just unfair because that's the only time all week long that I could not be there, and that's the time that this board decided, let's exclude one of its members. That's not fair.
Can I speak?
Oh, wait, Mike wants to speak and then Dan.
I got two things.
Mike and then Dan.
Number one, I was
I know.
sick, I was at a specialist in St. Louis, that I wasn't at that meeting.
Yeah.
Second of all, I had no
I'm not
input
upset about
on when that meeting was,
I
gonna
understand.
be this week or whatever, and stuff like that.
I agree.
Nobody gave me any input on that.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's
No,
not.
and it's either I'm
Oh,
available or I'm not.
No,
If
and
I'm
Brandon
not
said it was
available-
fine, Terry said it was fine. When I spoke to you on the phone, what did you tell me? You said Dan threw a fit.
When we called Dan, right?
Well,
And said that I couldn't
Then
do
the
it.
majority finally got, it wasn't you, it was the majority that could be here, you know.
I know, but that was the only time. You make it any other time. You purposely excluded a member
I don't
of
think
a
so.
huge decision.
No, wait, okay, let Dan talk now, we passed him. Go ahead, Dan, wait a minute. Dan?
I can refresh everybody's memory. We were gonna have it on Wednesday or Thursday. Derek wanted it on Friday. But after we left the meeting, it was already decided that we were gonna have it on Friday, this Friday. Then I get a phone call that says it's been moved to Wednesday. I said, we all agreed to make it on Friday. I already changed some plans of mine. Because Derek had to have it on Friday.
30 seconds, Dan. In 30 seconds, we called you and you did not answer your phone because you were on the beach. 30 seconds.
I was not gone. I was not gone when that was done. I was in town.
Well, what I'm saying, you didn't answer. We tried you. Everybody wanted to change. It was, and you said it has to be a week. I was open to anything. I said Thursday, Friday. He had a ball game he was going to. We didn't care. My point is, I looked at the calendar, I go, oh my gosh, that's the only time I have a thing.
Well,
My point is,
I can't manage your calendar and mine too, Derek.
well, I can't manage that. You're always in Florida.
No, he's not. No,
I can't help but just stay home.
Okay.
Two quick more things.
Yeah.
First of all, when is the meeting, right? I'm confused
9
here.
o'clock.
Hold on. My meeting's at noon. You guys should make it at noon. It's at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
He's being a butt.
Okay. Second of all, Babette, I wanna say something to you. Now, at the town meeting 2 weeks ago, I was the one when Don came back in the room and said, I think he should be allowed to have a decent answer.
Right,
Because I'm a believer in that.
right, and they did that, that's why I said, you remember he left,
But
because
when he
I
walked
respect
back
that.
in the room, I told him, I said, Don, what was the question again?
Yeah.
There's so many things that went on.
Right.
Hell, I forgot the question.
That was the
Right.
annual town meeting, it was 2 different meetings, one meeting got finished and the next.
Yeah, or the regular
Right,
meeting,
I
I'm
get
sorry.
it, but, yeah. But the whole point of my conversation was, rules at that meeting.
You change it on
like today.
Wednesday or whatever? Yeah.
Right, that's
Annual
what I'm
town
saying.
meeting.
No, now, take the town meeting out.
Okay.
Galen gets what I'm saying.
I do. She's saying at our regular meeting last week, after Tuesday, whatever,
Yes,
after the town meeting.
but the same day.
When they ask a question, then it was refused to be answered because it was a previous meeting. Then we went into, and also because of.
That's not why it was
answers.
refused. That's what I'm saying. That's where the minutes were wrong. So anyway, let's
But-
move on.
But you
Okay,
get it.
Yeah.
whatever,
But you were
that's
right.
how I took it, that's how I heard it.
I'm done, Larry.
Larry, let's go on to Larry. Regular meeting.
We did not.
See, I was,
wait.
You did like that, what I-
playing nice.
I
I
had a friend
playing
on the
nice
phone.
with me. I don't have anything.
Ways to approve donations, I think they,
That was today.
Yeah, let's move on with that. But I would love to come up with some ideas at some point
Do you
on.
want that on the next agenda?
I think we've been pretty good, don't you?
Yeah, I just wish we had some kind of way. I thought of some ideas, but my brain's fried right now. Let's move it on.
And we got each one approved individually tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying, I think maybe we
Well, I
discuss
kinda
it with
get,
budget.
I kinda get
maybe
what
even.
he's saying, but the ones we've heard tonight, outside of the one, were past ones that we've done before.
Right. I'm just saying, when the new ones come in, maybe we have a little committee or something.
Larry.
Yeah.
So Larry, you got the vote? No,
I'm trying to.
no, Larry's done. Okay, Mike.
Larry's done.
Motion to adjourn.
Does anybody else have anything for us? We got a motion,
Wow.
and we got a second. Roll call.
Your sister's good at it,
We
too.
do not
She
do
does
roll
it.
call,
Huh?
Sharon.
Okay, yeah. Well, I feel- I
You
think-
have to say that because it wouldn't be right.
I think I'm down. My other reading.
And it's just, and it's.
Except for-
She's doing.
No, I was just saying, I was just saying.
When
I think-
She was feeling good.
Well, thanks, Frank.
They're not- they're just trying to-
This is all I'm gonna have to say.
Yeah, just put,
Thank you. That's right.
Hey, Derek.
Are we done?
Yeah, we
Yes, we adjourn.
Yeah, see you, Larry.
We adjourn.